It's him no more.
Ma'am, book a session.
Why do you think a woman who is an average looking, below average physicality, below average weight, can sit around talking about they're going to hold out? Or wait, what are you waiting for? The answer is what many are waiting for is a sucker. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and say, you know what? Even though you got 200,000 miles on you and had a couple of wrecks, I'm going to go ahead and pay brand new prices for it.
Fire!
Kosher Clinician.
Nothing can stop me, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow, no need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no better one, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no better one. Susceptible now, before the moment flies.
Black men are rightly frustrated by that because it seems like
It's him no more.
All these simps running around here running amok, all these son husbands, it ain't just these single mothers' faults. Happy wife? No. Happy life. Y'all heard that before. That's the most simplest thing you can hear said.
Yeah, welcome to Simp University. That's right. We got an all-star lineup. Yeah, we got Dr. Simp Jackson on the drums. Johnson. Yeah, we got Dr. Boogity, boogity, boogity boys. Watkins on the tambourines. We got Derek, the Janky Jack Jackson singing back up. And this is the Simp Academy, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. So he gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. He don't care, he don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. That's it. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Work the pimp C, I walk with a limp. This is for the donation niggas who got food. Been a decade running and still no school and no class. You keep asking for more cash. Academy growing, pucker up and kiss ass. These doctor, imposter, homie, you check the roster. Black women panda, sounds like you a scammer. Yeah, we lace them up like them Chuck tennis. We don't love these hoes, they screaming fuck Dennis. We holding court, ain't no love in it. Rather be the judge in it. Justice from you fuck niggas. Check game. Your mama gave you niggas all a simp chip. Now you simping A1 game, all on this simp shit. High degree having nigga talking this trick shit. What you gonna be teaching at that school, nigga? Pimp shit? This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. My nigga, you a simp, yeah. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. So he gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She don't care. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. You niggas is soft as Wonder Bread, baby. You worse than King Kong trying to save mayonnaise milk. Sippin' is like Kool-Aid, and you niggas add extra sugar. Cause you sippin' niggas never had that booger. How can a rotten bitch raise a forgotten trick that turned into a switch hitter? You more concerned with alphabets and crayon colors. I'm not that nigga, and I'm definitely not that brother. So when the kingdom falls, and the she-heathen no longer pick up your call, and when we leave you simps swinging from these salty balls, best believe I got my attorney named Dennis Sperling on speed dial. And in the meanwhile, while simping ain't in my pimping, do not shake shit for me, baby. But you can shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it for him, shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want that money. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. He gon' pay it, baby. Now shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want the brain. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. Yeah.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
To exclusively marry black men. We are in the middle of a crisis. Black men are in crisis. And anybody who denies that black men are in crisis is ignoring the data, the science, the research, the statistics. It is not a figment of your imagination that there are not enough eligible black men to marry.
It's been an honor serving with you all. Autobots, roll out. We rolling.
Nanobots, transform.
She lie on them brothers, separate uncles and nephews and cousins and try to pin us against mothers. How you a woman but ain't got a man for protection, but you undercover? How do you think that we suffer? Thought we were sisters and brothers. Now you get birthed in the gutter. When they rap, they the same ones that cut you. Be the same ones who yelling they love you. Be the same ones who calling me nigga. After that, wanna say I'm his brother. Yeah, she lie on them brothers. 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 So what going on in your man, you don't get it. And using your women as splitters, then hitters. Put you in place in our family ruin. Target your boys, you don't see what they doing. We gotta beat them, you wanna join them, we just leave them. Your feminist feminism, more like treason. Politics, you don't even follow leaders. First is master, probably cause of your Jesus.
God is white. Isn't it obvious?
Well, that is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you ask us to read in Revelation, 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color of brass.
Just what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm proving to you that Jesus was not, and I might quote one of our Indian brothers, he was not a pale face.
This would have been a dick, you didn't believe it. You reap the benefits from your achievements. Penitentiary, all we get is to eat it. But God on our side, baby, we gon' beat it. She lie on them brothers. She lie on them brothers.
I'm big on you, 'cause I'm the biggest, baddest.
Separate uncles and nephews and cousins and try to pin us against mothers. How you a woman but ain't got a man for protection, but you undercover? How do you think that we suffer? Thought we were sisters and brothers. Now you get birthed in the gutter. When they rap, they the same ones that cut you. Be the same ones who yelling they love you. Be the same ones who calling me nigga. After that, wanna say I'm his brother. She lie on the brothers. 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 She lie on the brothers.
Breaking all these black men with what? And they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me with fucking grabbed a rock and it hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face.
Roll out. Transformer. 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 Roll out.
Follow me, baby. The elders are old and out of touch. I have the power to help you become the better version of yourself. Listen to me. I know what's best for you. I am the Snake Whisperer. Fire for your mind. The Kosher Clinician.
If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. Heaven and hell, that's what they told you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads pick it back up and young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues. Asking fathers who miss you. Mama drama don't kiss you. All a part of the ritual. This is how they get you. Separate the men, women, clipping babies pretend to. Damn. Lovers, haters, acting like vultures. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is Kosher Condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. Listen. Listen.
All right, guys, bring it to you live once again from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. We're going to have a good show on tonight, guys, as we talk about the parable of a simp. One could argue that simping is a mental illness. One could argue that simping is part of sinning. When a man simps and he knows he's simping, then woe be unto him. But then there are some men that simp and they're not aware of their simping. But once you find out that you are simping and you continue to simp, meaning you're not standing in your masculinity or affirming virtues consistent with heteronormative theology, then I'll say woe unto you. The master said, go and simp no more, guys. And simp no more.
Friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. When my friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I don't die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike.
It's time for men to continue to wake up and fight. It's time for men to fight for what's truth, to fight for what's best for them, and to stop being simps. You know, simping should be in the DSM-5 as a mental illness because so many men have been conditioned to be simps. But Harriet Tubman said, better than me, I could have freed a lot more if they did not already know that they were slaves. Are you simping? Are you tired of it? What is your story? The parable of a simp.
Talk and run. Some people go to war for none. Me, I go to war for some. Some people need knives and guns. Same ones just talk and run. When my friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike. I go hard day and night. On the line, keep calling. Money on the books, ain't all that. My kids, they'll be ballin'. Got a real bankroll, not for Instagram. My mama on the line, keep calling. Praying for me, know I need all that. Told me it's not about ballin'. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. What would you do for a win? What would you do for your friends? What if this life is a foe? What if the dogs pretend? What if you roll to the end? What if you started again? This is real life, not a game. I fight my battles to win. But some people go to war for none. Me, I go to war for some. Some people need knives and guns. Same ones just talk and run. Some people go to war for none. Me, I go to war for some. Some people need knives and guns. Same ones just talk and run. When my friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike. I go hard day and night.
All right, guys, we're here, and as you guys know, I have dark shades on. And I don't have dark shades on because I'm smoking no trees, but I got on the dark shades, guys, because the dark shades symbolize darkness and blindness. And many are blind to the fact that they are simps. They are blind to the fact that they are simps. And they are blind to it, guys, because when it comes down to women and female nature, they only see female nature as black or white, but not understanding that sometimes there is gray in female nature. They're not necessarily good or bad. They're human. And there's some gray in that minutia. But here's the problem. Some of you men have been so conditioned to see women only as white and neither black or gray. And because of that, you sabotage yourself on and on and on again to the point that you give your power away. And see, the purpose, guys, of the conclave was male empowerment. It was about men living their lives on their own terms. It was about men raising up to the mantle of true masculinity. But see, guys, something has happened here in modern times, and something has happened in modern America. And we know there are some good women that are honorable and noble, and they've learned to self-introspect, and they've learned to see themselves within the lens of what's right. But see, guys, thinking errors consistent with minimization and magnification, many times it impedes many modern women from seeing themselves in a healthy and a productive way. And it's not only the women, it's also men, because you arrest yourself by not knowing what your worth is. And these conversations are so important, guys, because some of you men have simp. And some of you need to get on your knees and repent and ask God to forgive you because you have sinned. And because you sinned. Yeah, you got to stop simping because simping should be in the DSM-5 as a mental health crisis. You know, you guys will be surprised the simp tales that I've heard. I mean, I've heard a lot of simp tales. I hear simp tales of men that are bigger than me or as big as me or a little smaller than me, but they fear their women more than they fear men. I had an older simp one time tell me, he told me he didn't want to mess up because his wife might get mad. Oh, I've known guys that were simps. They pay all the bills. They take care of everything. They barely get intimacy. The women pay all the money. And they still simp. And see, what men don't understand fundamentally is this. Women by nature are wired to respect only power and strength. And men, I want to warn you, you have more power than you realize. But see, you give your power away because you fear the creature more than fearing the creator. And you have dark shades on, like I got dark shades on. You have dark shades on because you are blind to the reality of who you are, and you are blind to the reality of your masculinity. And you are blind, guys, because you keep sipping. And as the master was here, he would say, go and sin no more. You gotta stop simping because simping is what got us here in the first place. Adam was the first simp. He was a simp because Adam had a commission to be over his wife and to lead her while she was in the garden. But instead of him leading her, he allowed her to lead him based on his emotions. And guys, just like this woman named Rhoda Osman used bricks as victimization and tricks to trick the masses, many use crocodile tears and empathy and shaming to trick you out of your resources, your money, and your time. And see, guys, there was a time, guys, when women were more humble. If a woman was overweight, she was a humble, overweight woman. If a woman had a child by another man or children, she was humble. She was very humble. But you guys gonna see on tonight, shout out to Obsidian, and shout out to all the good brothers and also to the righteous sisters. They are alert. Because see, let me share something with you guys. If a man want to marry a woman that got children, more power to him. That's his business. I don't recommend it for single men that never had kids. Or if a man want to marry a woman that's overweight, more power to him. That's his business. But I don't particularly recommend it because I got my own standards. But there's one thing if a woman is overweight and got children, she's humble. And she realizes that her sexual market value is not as high as a woman that's single, fit, no kids, and low bodies. That's a difference. I'm not against women that are overweight or she got a child or two, she's humble. If that man want to be with it, that's his business, even though I don't recommend it. But if you want to, that's that man's business. But the problem that I got, guys, is this. When you got chicks that are damn near 300 pounds, children by other men and many men, severely ran through, haughty and arrogant, want you to give them the best, but they don't give you the best. When you show them the evidence about their bad behavior because they have what's called egoism. syntonia, meaning they love and think that their delusion is normal, then you got to run from women like that, guys, because if you stay with them, you're going to be on your knees repenting, and you're going to be saying, and simp no more. Yeah, you got to go and simp no more, guys, because the more you simp, the more you diminish what your worth is as a man. And at that point, you cannot see what your worth is. Do me a favor, guys, get the likes up, share the stream, and donate to the channel. But the parable of a simp is some of you men that are listening. You don't know what your value is, and neither do you know what your worth is. And when men try to lead you into a path of light and to a path of righteousness, consistent with the parable of the sower. And what was the parable of the sower? When seed, which symbolized the mind, was sent out by the master planter, some received the truth and they brought forth fruit. Some got the seed, and then when the birds came, they stole the seed from the mind, which symbolized the mind, and they didn't bear any fruit because they allowed the birds or whatever to steal the seed. But then the seed was built on fertile or fallow ground. Fallow ground is hard. And when the rocks, or more or less the weeds of life and adversity came, the knowledge that we gave you about female nature, you didn't let it resonate. And when life came, when the tears came, when Brickgate came, instead of you adhering to what was taught to you, the weeds, which symbolize deception or influence, stole everything that we gave to you. And then the last part, once again, was because your mind was hard, because you was hard-headed, when men try to transmit to you the knowledge and the wisdom, you couldn't receive it. And you couldn't receive it, guys, because you are still in a state of being a simp. And so the message on the day is this, guys: go and simp no more. Simping should be in the DSM. No more. And let me tell you guys something. We had a conversation at the conclave. We were talking about something called a man being stoic. And stoic means to be indifferent. I'm going to reflect on that, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. But I need you guys to get the likes up. I need you guys to donate. I am a content creator, and I'm also a therapist. And male-centered content many times is suppressed, I think. So I need you guys to help me by sharing the stream. If you don't have any money, that's fine. Just share the stream for me. But if you do have money, donate to the channel, because content creation is an art as we're trying to disseminate a science. It's an art as we try to disseminate a science. But he said, go and sin no more, as he told the woman, because the mission was not to condemn the woman at the well. That wasn't the mission. But see, he was there to make her aware that she was a broken person. But see, many modern women think that they are perfect. They see themselves as divas. They see themselves as queens. They don't see themselves as having anything wrong with them. And see, here's the problem. It's one thing if they wanted true equality, but they don't want equality. They want to be superior to you. They think you're less than. That's why you can get a chick that's damn near 300 or 400 pounds, ran through, kids by other men, and she wants you to take care of all her children. And because some of you men, because you've been conditioned by your mothers, you don't know any better, because you over-identify with how women think instead of identifying with your purpose, which is God, identifying with your worth and your second purpose, which is to be the best version of yourself. And then your woman comes on the back end to support you and to push you forward. When you have a woman that can help you become the better version of yourself, then you can be a great builder. But some say, what are black men building? Well, they can't build, ma'am, when you worrying the hell out of him. He can't build. A man can't build if you're stressing him out. A man cannot build if you're constantly trying to compete with him. A man cannot build when he needs you to be supportive or when he's dying off early because you only see him as a utility. And you guys are going to see the evidence. You guys are going to see it on tonight because, see, the rabbit hole is getting more and more bizarre. And as I got on this black hoodie, it's called Black and White Thinking. Black and white thinking is tied to egocentria. They can't see gray. They can only see black and white. And when you show them the evidence, guys, they don't listen to the evidence. When you show them the evidence, guys, they'll get mad and they'll look at you, and instead of them adhering to the evidence, they'll just... Shout out to my dear friend. She said, take heed to the message, no doubt. Thank you, sister, for sharing. And shout out to my man, Scrotum. He said Scrotum Sack. I don't know who that is. For the $1 super chat. I appreciate it, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Lucky person.
I appreciate it.
You got the number
and
right.
this dear sister said that my king is the table. And I came to bless the table. My king saved me. No doubt, sis. Much respect, sis. Thank you. And we're going to get deep into it, guys, but I need you guys to get the likes up, and I need you guys to donate to the channel because it's time for you men to stop simping. Because Marvin Wine said, go and simp. Go and simp.
And simp. No more.
And you got to stop simping because, see, you can't lead your woman if you're constantly placating to her feelings. In a relationship must be mutually beneficial. It must be mutually beneficial. In a mutually beneficial relationship, the man benefits and the woman benefits. But see, in a relationship where men don't know what their worth is, then nobody benefits because instead of him leading his woman is leading him through his or through her emotions. And that's why men in these modern times, you have to transform your mind, and you transform your mind by becoming stoic. Because see, men of old, guys, they didn't have time to be in their feelings. They had to be stoic because they knew being stoic kept them grounded. If you are constantly aroused by your woman's feelings, then you can't be stoic. And instead of being on your purpose, you are being your feelings. And if you're in your feelings, then you will be singing a song. You'll be singing the song by Teddy Pendergrass.
Tomorrow. So you gotta reap what you sow.
And see, guys, the part about being a simp in the parable of the simp is not only does the woman reap because she's trying to subvert you from your rightful place as being the leader, but you're going to reap what you sowed, just like Adam had to reap what he sowed. Because of the transgressions of Adam, the whole world had to suffer. Because of one man, the whole world had to suffer. Because Adam did not stand on the mantle of masculinity. Adam stood to affirm and to appease the woman. He did not more or less stand on his rightful birthplace as a man. And some of you men are not standing on your rightful birthplace because you are still simping. You are still simping. And because when men simp, women don't benefit and the men don't benefit. And when there's not law, there's not order. Where there's no order, there's no stability. Where there's no stability, guys, then there's chaos. And where there's chaos, the chickens, guys.
America's chickens coming home to roost.
Near you. And they're roosting louder and louder, guys, because see, social media has shown us the dark side of female nature. Listen, men have a dark nature. I have a dark nature. We all have dark natures. But we just don't act on our dark nature. But see, these women, because they lack self-awareness, they act on their dark nature. And they act on their dark nature because no one holds them accountable. No one holds them accountable because they don't believe that the fat meat is greasy. And instead of becoming the better version of themselves, guys, instead of being women of virtue and women of valor, what you got, guys, it's incessant non-accountability. And also what you get is pigeon.
Spicy poop. Get over it. Okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, Kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, Kosher.
Ballin'.
Take it back.
Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine.
You got a lot of pigeon-ish, guys. You got a lot of pigeon-ish here in modern America and in modern time. Shout out to my man Jamari, 8145. Appreciate it, Jamari. Thank you, sir, for your $5 super sticker. No comment. Only showing love. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jamari, 81. Thank you, sir. And you're a dynamite. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, sir, for your love.
Right?
I appreciate it, brother Jamari.
A dynamite.
And Jamari gave me another. I appreciate another 5. Thank you, Jamari. And you're the number one sponsor of the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother Jamari. Sir. Thank you.
Got 5 on it.
But many won't. But many got pigeon-ish because they don't want to be corrected. They don't want to remove the blinders, which is the darkness that prevent them from seeing the light. And see, guys, you can't try to save them. You got to keep running. You guys got to run on and focus on yourself. You go to a place where a woman will honor you and respect you. And the dirty word that many say that they're believers, obey. The woman was commissioned to serve her man as the man was commissioned to serve the Most High. But they don't want to do it. And you will be a fool to waste your time on fallow ground. Because the parable of the sower is no different than the parable of a simp. I submit to you, good gentlemen, stop simping, because simping is not good for your mental health. Now, guys, get the likes up, donate to the channel, because black and white thinking is real. And that's why I have on this black and white hoodie to symbolize the fallacy or the errors associated with black and white thinking. Let me show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys why this is important. And once again, guys, donate to the channel and support the stream. All right, so let's look at it. The parable of the simp. The parable of the simp. One could argue, men, that Adam was the first simp. Adam was the first simp because he more or less messed up his birthright. And the bad thing about Adam is this. Adam was a conscious simp. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Adam was a conscious simp. Hold tight. I don't know what's happening. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, hit 1. If you guys can hear me, hit 1. Okay, why can't I hear myself? But anyway, Adam, guys, he was a conscious simp. He was a conscious simp. And it's worse because Adam, he knew what he was doing. Adam knew what he was doing. He knew what the Most High told him. And Adam's job and his mission was to protect the woman and to subdue the earth and to protect the garden. But see, like so many of you men, you allow women to get in their feelings to besmirch you or persuade you to do things counterintuitive to what you know your logic is saying. And I see it all too often, guys. I see it all too often. Men with money, men with status, and men with power. They compromise their power because they continue to allow their women emotions to get the best of them. But Adam was a conscious simp because Adam, he knew better. Adam knew better. He knew what he was doing, but he listened to the woman. See, the snake whisperer didn't come to the man, but the snake whisperer, he came to the...
Follow me, baby. The elders are old and out of touch. I have the power to help you become the better version of yourself. Listen to me. I know what's best for you. I am the snake whisperer.
And just like the snake whispered to the original woman and the transgressions came to her, the snake is also talking to the woman that you are dealing with to get you to compromise your power with a man. And because of that, guys, I warn you to go and simp no more. Go and simp no more unless something greater happens to you.
No more.
The woman was made for you, good gentlemen. She was made for you. Woman was made for you. You weren't made for the woman. The woman was made for you, just like the man was made for the Most High or God. Woman was made for you to be a helpmeet. Now listen, men and women are equal in their human essence. They're essentially equal in essence, meaning they're part of God's creation, but they're not equal in role and design. And the design of the woman was to lift her man up as he lift up God. When the woman lift the man up, then the man showers blessings to his woman. When man lift God up, then God showers blessings to man. But see, the modern woman has been conditioned to see you as the enemy. She took on the mantle, some of our women, that black men was oppressing them, but black men never had the power to oppress. And so Adam wanted woman or the woman for companionship. He wanted the woman for companionship. But see, guys, here's the crazy thing about modern women. They'll say, I want you, but I don't need you. And that's no different than Lucifer. They'll say, I want you, but I don't need you. And that's a problem. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, hit 1. Okay, all right, so we're back. All right, so anyway, she was, see, the problem, guys, with modern women is this. They'll say, I want you, but I don't need you, which is foolish. And it's easy to say that, guys. It's easy to say that after men created the world that men and women benefit from. It's easy to say that after men created the world that women benefit from. And it's weird because you don't hear men say, I want you, or mankind say, I want you, but I don't need you. Because see, woman was just a companion to man. But man never needed Eve for utility. Man created the ecosystem and man created the world. The woman came into the world to nest after the creation that man built. So man never needed the woman for utility. But the woman did need the man. And men and women complement one another when they work together in synchronicity. But see, when you hear women say, I want you, but I don't need you, they can only say that after men built the world that they benefited from. No different than when God built the world. And then the devil turned around and said that he was greater than the creator. And that's a delusional person when they think that they're greater than the creator himself. Men create the world and women benefit from it. But now the world that some women seek to oppress, the women or the world that men created, women are using the world to oppress the men that created a world or created the world that they benefit from. And that's a problem, guys. And that's problematic. And we're going to get deep into a whole type. So the God spark was in the original man. That was in the original man. It was the God spark. That's a man's DNA. That's his seed. And Adam was the progeny of Eve. Adam made Eve. She came out of out of Adam. She was bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. The original woman came out of the original man. The original woman came out of the original man. She was the mother of all human beings, but she came out of him, not him out of her. And when you hear women that talk about godless worship, they'll say woman created all men and all life forms. And that's a myth. Because see, the original woman was created by the original man. And from that original woman, all offsprings came through men and women coming together. She was made for him to serve him, and he was made to serve the Most High. But you don't see it now because men don't know their purpose and their order. Sadly, many get it twisted. Hold tight. So feminism and godless worship states man came from woman as the first, and man needs woman for survival, which is foolish. Men don't need women for survival. And the lie that men don't protect is also a lie. Men don't need women for survival or protection. Men don't need women for survival or protection because mankind created a world that all human beings benefit from. But they will tell you to the contrary, which is crazy. And that's why, guys, you can't listen to delusional people. You can't listen, hold tight, to delusional people. Because delusional people will have you delusional. Feminist and godless worship states that man came from woman as the first, and man needs woman for survival, which is foolish. That's why I said honor thy father first, and then the mother. If you go and look at theology in our culture, it says honor thy mother and thy father, but that's error. The good book never say honor thy mother and thy father. It say honor thy father and thy mother, because the father, guys, is the God spark. He is the first fruit of God's creation. And the woman was made for him, and she came out of him. Eve meant the mother of many nations. That's why Adam called her Eve. And that's why kids need their fathers so they can have instruction. But see, when you live in a world where we don't value our men, then it becomes problematic. It becomes problematic when men don't, or when the world does not honor their men and value their men. The God spark is in the man. The woman is just the ground. The woman is the earth. But the man is the creator. Because a woman cannot have a child unless she have the seed of man. The DNA of man is no different than a father giving direction. Just like the sperm die off early, not because it's volatile per se, but because it's always active. The sperm is active and the masculine is doing. When that sperm swims up to a woman's canal, the egg rests in its femininity. And the sperm gives instruction and said, come up hither or come unto me. But see, once again, some of you men have been told that you don't have any value and you worship your woman more than you worship your purpose. The mission, once again, guys, is go and sin no more. Guys, get the likes up, donate to the channel, because this is going to be a great one. I got some good stuff for you guys. But the mantle is in the man, not in the woman. The God spark is in the man. That's why when fathers give instructions, fathers give provision. But so many women now have been conditioned to think they are better because of the world that men created. Now watch this. Imagine if the world had an economic catastrophe. Imagine if the barbarians came at the gate. Will women like Princella still proclaim that they are greater than men and that men are feeble? All this propaganda, guys, is by design. It's all by design, guys, to destroy men. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. It's all by design. Shout out to my brother, Dr. Thunder. It's all by design to cause chaos and animus between men and women. But once again, guys, when you know better, then you got to do better. When you know better, you got to do better because, see, you've been conditioned to see your mama as a
and even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama.
And we live in a world, guys, where, you know, the black woman has no culpability. Once again, you know, I'm from Generation X. And Generation X women at one point, they were humble. But see, you got women now that are Zennials and Millennials and Alpha Z. I mean, severely ran through. Kids by multiple men. And, you know, after they give all their virtue away, by Raekwon the Man, then they'll tell you,
somebody
I want you to come and take care of not some of my children, but all my children, not children, but children.
Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
It's him no more. You gotta stop simping, man, because simping is not only goes against the Most High, it's sin, but also simping is a threat to your mental health. Some of you men gotta stop simping. Some of you men are more afraid of the women in your life then you are afraid of the Most High. Simping is not consistent with your mental wellness as a man. Shout out to my man, Scrollum Sack. He said, these birds are willful Jezebels. You're right, brother. And he said, let them suffer. And I totally agree. And you are
hello, lucky person. You got the number right, because you are talking to Kid a Dynamite. Pure Dynamite.
Modern women are no different than Lucifer. After Yahweh or Jehovah created the world and he created the angels, Lucifer got pride in his heart because, listen, just like men, you gave women the power to oppress you. The world that you created, the internet that men created, the buildings that men created, the infrastructure that men created, you gave them the power, but not black men per se. A small percentage of white men gave women the power to oppress them, and then they said that all black men oppressed them. But black men never oppressed nobody because we never had power. But many have the Lucifer complex because Lucifer mocked the master creator, just like the modern woman mocks the master creator in man after man created the world that she benefit from. Man created the platforms that women use to oppress men through. But how can a person say that they are greater than men when they don't have the knowledge or the wherewithal to create an environment? You can't talk about men and men being inferior, but you don't have the power to create an infrastructure that the men gave to you to help benefit. They mock men after men created the world, but how can the creature mock the creator? And the creature, guys, is mocking the creator because some of you men have given your power away. Because like Harriet Tubman said, she said, I could have saved a lot more if they didn't already know that they were slaves. And once again, guys, consistent with Bishop Charles E. Williams, he said, there got to be a difference between what's clean and unclean. And that's why so many black men are
between clean and unclean. Put a difference between the holy and unholy. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. There's a difference between a dog and a cat. There's a difference between a sheep and a goat. There's a difference between a son of the devil and a son of God. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me.
And there needs to be a difference. But see, here's the problem, guys. You don't know the difference because you don't know what your worth is. And because you don't know what your worth is, you continue to compromise your power. You continue to compromise your power because you believe the lie that you don't have any value. You believe the lie that you didn't contribute to society. You believe the lie that black men are broken or black men did not build anything. And we all know that that's a lie. We all know that it's a lie. And if you continue to believe it, then I would say, woe be unto you. But once again, guys, I want to share something with you guys. Guys, donate to the channel if you have not donated. And share this link because I got some fire for your mind in a few minutes. But in the meantime, guys, here are some pictures from the Manifold Conclave. Hold tight. And guys, we're going to get deeper into it. So give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute as I upload the next piece. Hold tight. Show you guys something, but before I show you guys, hit the like button, donate to the channel. We're about to go down the rabbit hole. We're about to go down the rabbit hole. And as we go down the rabbit hole, guys, I need you to hit 1 if you're beginning to become stoic when it comes down to modern women. Hit 1 if you're beginning to become stoic as it relates to modern women.
Down the rabbit hole we go. This is the part of the show where we assess, examine, collaborate.
Now, guys, this is some stuff I have from the conclave. I'm gonna get into it. But this talks about the importance of men being stoic. It talks about the importance of men being stoic. Because if you're not stoic, you put yourself in a position where you'll start learn how to be simple. It's important that men be stoic. Plato, or not Plato, but Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. And you might ask the question, why is it so important for men to be true to themselves? Well, when you're true to yourself or true to yourself, you don't put yourself in a predicament where you can be violated as a man. And see, people that are true to themselves learn how to be selfish. As a man, you need to learn how to be selfish. Not selfish to the point you're hurting other people, but selfish to the point that you're getting your needs met as a man. You need to be selfish to the point that you're getting your needs met as a man. Shout out to my man Gregory Scotland. He said, because there are several men of quality in the black manosphere, we can't allow women and some women to come in chats or panels and speak disrespectful to us. Yes, sir, I agree with you 1,000,000%, Gregory Scotland. And Gregory Scotland, you a dynamite.
Hello, lucky person. You got the number right, because you are talking to kid a dynamite. Pure dynamite.
But being stoic, guys, is important because Epictetus said, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control and some things are not. You can't worry about controlling a woman that is not or have not been trained to value you as a man. You can't worry about trying to control a community that don't know its place. You can't worry about controlling an environment or a community that's not been trained or willing to honor and respect the warriors of that community. You guys just saw black men get pulverized, and this woman, Rhoda Osman, lied on black men and said that black men won't protect her. But see, black male protection comes with a price. And that's why guys, like Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. There were two types of people in those prior times, guys. You had what was called Epicureans. Epicureans loved the pleasure principle. And one could argue that many modern women are hedonists and they tend to love the pleasure principle because you got a percentage of men that are still virgins. But women now are getting in more than some men because it's easy for a woman to get sex. But see, here's the problem. After they give all their virtue away, then they want to come back to you after they've been ran through, and they want you to put a ring on their fingers and make them feel special. And there's nothing special about a woman that's been ran through by a lot, and I mean a lot of men. The goal of life is happiness. Stoicism says that the goal of life is to know your duty and to do the right thing. The question is, do you know what your duty is as a man? Do you know what your duty is as a man? Because if you don't know your duty as a man, then you can never become the better version of yourself. Dr. William Glasser say one of the ways you counterbalance this, he said you got to have a growth mindset. What is your growth mindset? You got to build good habits. You got to have self-discipline. One of the biggest things that men struggle with sometimes is penis discipline. When you got penis discipline, you're not a slave to your ego.
I got a big ego, ha ha ha, oh, such a big ego.
The next one is overcoming obstacles. Overcoming the challenges that are going to come in your life. And we know that being a man sometimes is filled with obstacles. We know that being a man many times is filled with obstacles. Personal improvement is part of being a high-value man. At the conclave, we talked about personal improvement. and keep being productive for those women that are worthy of your productivity. As I said before, Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. If it costs you your peace, men, then it's too expensive. How many of you men have been in relationships where it costs you your peace? I need you to hit 2. Hit 2 if you've been in relationships where it costs you your peace. Hit 2. Metacognition means to think about what you're thinking about. When you have metacognitions, it means you think about what you're thinking about, and you don't allow a person to subvert or control you in a negative way. Distress, ask yourself the question, what would she do? Ask yourself the question, if the woman that you're dealing with would give you the same kindness as you're giving her. If she wouldn't do it, guys, then don't give it to her. Because in a relationship, both men and women, they both mutually benefit. That's called cognitive restructure. You have to restructure how you think and stop seeing women as only black and white. You got to see the gray. But some of you men only see women as white. And white is consistent with sugar and spice and everything nice. Women have a dark nature, just like men have a dark nature. Dr. William Glasser said that there are 5 elemental principles that all men need. Men have a need for love and belonging. Some of you men are simps because you never got the proper validation from your mother. Many of you men want power, where you only get power by understanding what your values are and asserting what your values are. Many of you men want fun. You're not having fun with the woman that you're with. You're miserable. Many of you men, because the woman is stressing you out and she's running you to the rooftop, and because y'all are simps, instead of being in that house with the woman,
that's all, bro.
the next stage in stoicism and dealing with women and stop being simps is understanding survival. You have to survive the stress of being with a woman that's not on your program. Your health is part of not only your mental survival, but also your sexual survival. Did you men know that when you're in a stressful relationship, it can lower your testosterone levels? And then also the last stage is freedom. Freedom, knowing what your worth is, keeps you from having issues with your financial freedom. Your financial freedom is important to reducing you about being a simp. Your freedom keeps you in a peace of mind. Coach Greg Adams talking about the free agent lifestyle. And once again, needs drive behaviors consistent with Dr. William Glasser. But when you men have freedom based on your financial and also your spiritual and also your mental, then you can become the better version of yourself. You're going to stop dealing with the modern woman, because the modern woman, guys, have narcissistic traits. You can't keep sipping with the modern woman because the modern woman has narcissistic traits. Her traits are narcissistic. Her traits are narcissistic. And the master's telling you to go, guys. It's him. No more. She's entitled. That's why with the information that Obsidian released, you're going to see what I'm talking about. She's entitled. She's selfish. You got women, like I said, guys, that got kids by other men, severely ran through, big as whales, but they still think they deserve men that have done the work and put in work. As men, we know and understand, guys, that it's a mental health crisis if you think you're going to get a woman of quality if you haven't done the work. You got to do the work as a man in order to get the kind of woman that you want. But see, many want to besmirch you or besmirch you And she don't want to give you what you want and need because she thinks she's the prize by default. And because she thinks she's the prize by default, guys, it's led to an illusion or a delusion. And when you tell them what you want, guys, then all of a sudden she gets a schema of... Shout out to my man Kevin White for the 5, always showing love. Shout out to Kevin White. Thank you, Kevin White, for the $5 Cash App, sir. I appreciate it. And that's the money. Appreciate it.
It's the money.
She's indoctrinated. She has been indoctrinated to have animus towards you as a man. She lacks self-awareness, which means she doesn't have the cognitions or the proper cognitions to understand where she's at. And then she is the eternal victim. Brickgate was about women being victims. And they use bricks and tricks to get the sympathy of a man, but also they use the bricks to make men become perpetrators of violence, but then on the flip side, to get resources from gullible people that were not thinkers.
It's been an honor.
Many men, guys, struggle with over-identification. That's a clinical term. They over-identify with their mothers. They over-identify because they never have fathers to tell them what their value is. Remember, the man is the God spark. The father gives direction. The father gives order. The father gives provision. The father gives protection. Honor thy father and then thy mother. But see, when men over-identify with their mother,
and even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
Yeah, she was a crack fiend. Make it make sense. And what that leads to, guys, something called a delayed value system. Men delay their value system for the sake of their women because they don't know what their worth is. They accept subpar women. They accept subpar behavior. They accept women that got not only children, but a bunch of children.
Somebody
they
needs
accept
to
women
pay
that want you to take care of all their children.
And mine and Gary, all our suffering, all our pain, somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
And then there's a concept that I created called hoflation. And hoflation basically means you got women that have been severely ran through, and they'll come back to you saying what they deserve. Listen, women of old understood that if they had a lot of baggage, if they had a lot of damage, if they had other men kids, those women were humble because they understood that their SMV, their sexual market value, was not as good as a woman that didn't have kids, wasn't ran through. Now listen, a woman can have value outside of her sexual market value. Those are her personal talents and gifts. But you got to ask a woman got to ask herself the question, what do I bring to the table if that man decides to take me and all my baggage? And they don't want to hear that question. And they're trying to shame you into taking care of her.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children and mine and Gary, all our suffering, all our pain. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
And guys, that leads to something called carnal hypergamy. It's nothing wrong with a woman being hypergamous. The word gamy or gamete means sex. It's nothing wrong with a woman being hypergamous if it's fit and proper, which is kosher hypergamy. If a woman is not trying to exploit a man and she comes into the relationship saying, baby, if you pay for these bills or you pay for a percentage of these bills, then I'm going to do this, then that's fit and proper. But what you guys have now is carnal hypergamy, and carnal hypergamy, guys, lead to tears.
Tears. Tears.
And a lot of you guys are singing that song by Keith Sweat called Make This Last Forever. And Jeezy found out the hard way that the modern woman is not worth putting a ring on her finger. She's not worth you putting a ring on her finger because she's severely damaged. And she's not willing to do the work to get the kind of man that she qualifies for, not what she deserves. It's a difference in what you qualify for and what you deserve. But hoflation has made average women think they deserve good quality men, and they don't deserve it. And because men, you don't have no standards, you allow it. And Teddy told me to tell you that.
Tomorrow, so you gotta reap what you sow.
My man, scrotum sacks out. Some have 3 and 4 stomachs, yeah. And and some of them stomachs there look like oatmeal cakes. But we're not talking about women that are humble. We're not talking about women that make bad choices and they're humble. We're talking about arrogant women that make all these damn demands after they don't offer anything of value to a man.
I'm trying to touch the States this time. 2021. Yeah, show him I can still rap though. Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again.
And guys, she wants you to come and put a ring on that and to take care of Raekwon's children.
It's been an honor serving with you all. Autobots, roll out.
We roll. Nanobots, transform.
And guys, it's time for you men to transform. This young man was the example of being a simp to some degree. And it don't mean he was a bad person. He was just an unconscious simp. He didn't know any better. He was an unconscious simp. And what he was doing, he was supplementing irrational male patterns of behavior. Men become simps or unconscious simps where they supplement irrational male patterns of behavior. Now I said males because men don't allow women to get them in a place where they lose their bearings for the sake of a woman. Shout out to my man Gregory Scott. He said another thing I suggest to men is to look at a woman's sideline when you meet her and she tends to speak about, all she tends to speak about is her mother. Yes, sir. Or the women in their life. And rarely mention the men or speak of those men in a positive manner. Yes, sir, Gregory Scott, I agree with you 1,000,000%. Because see, a woman that understands duty has been groomed by her father. The father's job is to groom the daughter so she can be ready to be groomed by her husband. The father is a God spark. He prepares the woman for her future husband. So I'm going to groom her so that she can continue to be groomed by her husband. But you got these damn women now, and they want to groom you. They want to groom you and tell you what your job is as a man. And some of you men, you allow it because some of you men are in sin. You are sinning against the Most High because you're sinning.
It's him no more.
And also, shout out to my man, the Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm always showing love. He said that for tonight's therapy session, I appreciate it. He says simps are a detest to society. They enable women to run over them. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, honor and cherish them above the Most High. Yes, sir. Simps, you are definitely my enemy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are 1,000,000% correct. And that's why I tell men to go and simp no more. And Big Bass, because of that great comment by my man, the Quiet Storm, Big Bass, hit that beat.
I am the one that take 2 just to make it. 3 if you hating, 4 your replacement. 5 I'm the best to survive in the matrix. 6 and you out, rest in peace to your baby. I am the one that take 2 just to make it. 3 if you hating, 4 your replacement. 5 I'm the best to survive in the matrix. 6 and you out, rest in peace to your baby. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Ah!
And also, guys, because of that, Gregory Scholar is the #1 sponsor, followed by my man, The Quiet Storm. You guys are the #1 sponsors of the stream. Guys, to the 29 that are watching, if you have not donated, donate. Don't keep letting the same people donate. If you like what I'm doing, support the stream. If you don't have money, donate. Thank you, The Quiet Storm and Brother Gregory Scotland, always showing love. Thank you, sir. My man, Scrollum Sack said, a 36-year-old Christian woman told me that she'll submit, but depending on what I did or didn't allow, she'll have resentment from me. He said, that's not submission at all. I had to let her go. And I don't blame you, brother, because a true woman knows what her job is and her submission is. But this young man, guys, was an unconscious simp. And he's not necessarily a bad guy, per se, but women only respect power and strength. And even though she stood him up, this poor brother, I'm not talking about him, I'm running him down, my heart goes out to him. One must say, well, he got the same response if he was in another country. Was it his fault? Was it the woman's fault? Or was it both? You guys tell me what you think.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up. And apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day and the time. You know.
How many of you men have dealt with women, entitled women like this? You make plans, she stand you up, and it makes it seem like you're a sucker, but you're not a sucker. You're just a good man trying to be a gentleman. Some said that that he shouldn't have went public, even though some say it was a skit. We don't know. But was it this young man's fault, or is it the current world that we live in? Y'all tell me what y'all think.
I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like, I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me.
And a lot of men are just looking for their person. But in the meantime, shout out to my man Salty Balls for the $25 cash out. He's always showing love. And him and Gregory Scotland and The Quiet Storm are the #1 sponsors for the stream. Thank you.
It's the money.
But the question is, guys, the question is this: was he simping Or is it just a bad culture that we live in? Because the man was sincere. And a lot of you men are going through brokenness because you're looking for love. You're looking for love, guys, in all the wrong places. You're looking for women that will be a compliment to you. You're looking for love because you believe in the mirage of black love. But instead of getting love, guys, it's only getting you carnal hypergamy. And that carnal hypergamy, once again, guys, is turning to nothing.
Tears.
I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right, and I just get stood up. Like my.
Thank you, Brother Charles Chandler. You know what? Someone else has been asking me about writing a book. And I think I am going to write a book, Charles. I appreciate it, Charles Chandler. I think that's something I'm going to look into. I've been having several people asking me to write a book. I think I will write a book. I appreciate it, Charles. I appreciate it, brother. Guys, go subscribe to Deacon Salted Balls and Machismo TV. They're doing a great work. I need to write a book. I appreciate it. But in other countries, a man showing a woman love is valued. But see, when you try to do this to these entitled, ran through, arrogant women, then I got to play the words of Marvin Winans, go and simp.
And simp no more.
It doesn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like, alien dating shouldn't even be.
And they don't care. You know what? Some said it was a skit. But remember this, guys. This even is a skit. Art imitates life. Art imitates life. Art imitates life. And what this brother's doing, he's imitating what many of you men have been through when you were trying to be a gentleman. A lot of women are like the women, whether it was a skit or real, that stood this brother up, sadly.
It's hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love. To be kind to one another. Like, what? Ladies, tell me, what did I do wrong?
Like a stupid ass nigga, bro.
And God, let me tell y'all something. Don't ever start crying over no woman. Don't cry over a woman. Don't cry over a woman. That's the foolish thing, the worst thing you can do. If you gotta cry, go cry in silence, but don't cry over no woman. Because while you're crying, 9 times out of 10, she's either texting another man or she's somewhere getting her guts dug in while you sitting up crying over her. You guys need to break that mold that women were like women of old. Men are the true romantics. We are the givers of love and light. Women by nature are very insular. If a woman is not conditioned to understand her dark nature, and she's not conditioned to respect and honor her men, if she's not conditioned to respect male leadership and authority, then she would never respect you. You're just a means to an end. And when you become a means to an end, guys, one of the things you don't want to do, guys, is become what's called you don't want to be a sucker for love. You don't want to become a sucker for love.
When all I wanted for you was to be Sal. Bro, get out, bro. Sal, está bien.
Okay. Stop waiting out, bro. What the fuck you talking about, bro? I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. I don't care about that shit, bro. You just don't do that shit, abuela. You just don't leave somebody you love for somebody else, bro. Bro, no, abuela, that's some bullshit, bro. That shit hurt, bro. I'm sorry, abuela. I don't want to scare at you, bro.
And guys, that's why I tell y'all never fall in love. I'm not telling you not to love your woman, but you're going to love your woman within reason. Never fall in love. I just got a story of a man that took his life recently because he went through a divorce that I'm sure his wife initiated. He was a soldier, and he took his life because he fell in love. The word fall implicates danger. So you should never fall in love with a woman, but you should love your woman within reason. You should fall in love with God. You should fall in love with your purpose. Because when you fall in love with God and when you fall in love with your purpose, God and your purpose will never fail you. But when you fall in love with a woman that have not been raised to respect you and honor you, and that dirty word obey you, then you are a fool. Because she changes her mind just like the wind. And many only care about themselves. And that's why so many of you men are going to Zion, because you're looking for women that can help you become the better versions of yourself.
The preacher's trying to them. You've been here long enough. You've been down in Babylon long enough.
And some of you men have been in Babylon too long, for all too long, because you're trying to save many modern women. You're trying to save her. You're trying to placate to her. You've been in Babylon too long, and you're trying to save the modern woman. You're in hell looking for heaven. And instead of getting peace that so many men yearn for, they're only getting hell. Shout out to my man, the architect. As the architect is the number one sponsor of this stream. He is the number one sponsor of this stream. He said, come to the resolve of not negotiating with terrorists. Yes, sir. He said, men are receiving more biblical structure from channels like this than almost anywhere else. You're 1,000,000% correct, brother. I love and respect you because you're right. The churches are not talking about it. And you're 1,000,000% correct, brother. And Big Bass, once again, hit that beat.
I am the one that take two just to make it. 3 if you hating, 4 your replacement. 5 I'm the best to survive in the matrix. 6 in you out, rest in peace to your baby. I am the one that take 2 just to make it. 3 if you hating, 4 your replacement. 5 I'm the best to survive in the matrix. 6 in you out, rest in peace to your baby. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. 7 if it ain't kosher, ain't 7. Hell is your home, but you looking for heaven. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7, 7, 7, 7. If it ain't kosher, ain't 7.
And it's not kosher here in America, guys. It's not fit and proper because the architect is correct. The churches won't preach on what I'm talking about. They won't even touch it. Many won't talk about it because they don't care about what men want or need. They don't care about the mental wellness of men. They don't care about the empowerment of men because like Michael Jackson said, guys, they don't really care about us.
Bro, my heart hurts, bro.
Explicitly talking about black.
Now, guys, I'm a licensed therapist. And Dr. T.S. Johnson, shout out to him. This is the hood scholar or the hood conservative. And once again, this is part of my presentation when I was at the conclave. But see, guys, many men have become simps too because they're in the mental health profession. That's why so many are afraid of therapists. A lot of men have had bad situations with therapists because the therapists many times take the side of the women and they are conscious or unconscious misandrous. If you've been impacted by therapists that don't or didn't come to your rescue or your aid, I need you to hit one.
Black man too, right? Yeah, so she tried to get away from it. But
no, but please finish reading it though.
Yeah. They get in my email inbox and want me to prove why they should choose me as a therapist. No schedule.
And think about it, guys. Many of these therapists, sadly, they became therapists to understand their own pathology, but also to transmit their pain to the men that hurt them. Therapy is a very powerful tool because many times therapy is predicated in empirical science. That empirical science is substantiated in the dissemination of that science. And then it goes to what's called intervention models. And then it goes to the populace. So while therapy is based on research, how you disseminate it, and how you don't understand or understand that you might have some biases, that's the problem. Are you operating under the Duluth model or the feminist theory lens, or are you operating under what's best for human beings in general?
Consultations are nothing to see if we're a good fit. I'm not the one or the two to prove my worth to anyone. We will not work well together because you are already trying me. And I'm not above going off on nobody. If you're trying me before the therapeutic relationship starts, I know you out here being a menace to folks.
Wow.
And that's going to activate my nervous system. So no, it's a wrap.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Aside from
so you got therapists that are concerned about being activated. And I did a show on this young woman, Nicole Lewis. She's a fellow therapist like myself. And guys, I'm about to expand my brand real soon. I'm about to start my own practice. I work for companies now, but it's a great need for men. And it's time for me to expand my brand and start doing things where I can impact good women and good men that are trying to change.
The fact that this is some ridiculous. I will say this: if she's complaining that black men are questioning, and asking if she is somebody that can treat them, if she's a good fit, if they're willing to ask, I take my hat off to them, because that was not something we did in prior time periods. If we went to therapy at all, we kind of took what we could get. The fact that she has more black men asking her questions, vetting her, I shout out those black men. Because if you don't do it, what you find is, when you go into therapy, you're extremely vulnerable. You're opening your life. You're telling a therapist things you haven't told your wife. You're telling a therapist you may not even ever told your boys. So there's a great deal of vulnerability in therapy where you're sharing experiences that are often very deeply impactful. And if somebody misuses and abuses those, those things that you've shared, it can cause a whole different type of trauma, right? You're exposed. It's like walking into a doctor's office and opening up your chest, right? And so if you got brothers that are willing to vet people, especially after the kind of things we've been talking about, the experiences we've had, I'm like, salute to y'all. Do it. And if she can be this annoyed and upset that you asked her a couple questions, she just saved you a lot. You just dodged a bullet.
And let me show you this.
And guys, some of these therapists, sadly, just like doctors have their pathologies, lawyers can have their pathologies, teachers can have their pathologies. Psychiatrists can have their pathologies. No profession is immune to the human condition. No profession is immune to the human condition. Because if you're going to castigate therapists, and castigate all therapists is bad, then you're going to castigate all doctors, you're going to castigate all teachers, you're going to castigate all lawyers, and you're going to castigate all priests and preachers. Because there are some good lawyers and there are crooked lawyers. But does that invalidate the profession of lawyers? No, it doesn't. There are some good doctors and there are some bad doctors. But does it invalidate all doctors? There are some good therapists, and sadly, there's a lot of bad ones. But you got to find a therapist that's consistent with your worldview, because many therapists are woke. They are woke therapists. If you don't know what your worth is as a man, you'll go to that therapist simply because many times they'll tell you that you're the problem, and many times these therapists have been trained under the Duluth model.
Yes, him no more.
So that, because if somebody might try to say this isn't as bad as it is. All right, look at this. I just shared it.
Go ahead.
So first of all, when she tweeted this,
shout out to Dr. Tia Son Johnson and the Hood Conservative, and also shout out to my brother Dr. Ron Neal for doing scholastic work, and also I can't think of the other brother's name. The man, Dr. Ronald Curry. Shout out to all those brothers. Thank you.
he was literally a therapist verified on a site that was dedicated to therapy for black men.
I heard about that mess. Yeah. Yeah.
I specialize in understanding the needs of African-American adults and can relate to their experience, right? And this is what you're talking about, right? If you are a therapist who understands what the trauma that black men have gone through, the struggles that black men have had with therapy, you would not get on the internet.
Right.
I was about to say on Tommy Carey's internet. You would not get on Twitter and say that black men are annoying you,
right,
to see if we will work good together.
Brother Ian, let me see. Better you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna start with you. I want if the three of you could keep it concise, I'd greatly appreciate it. But go ahead, Better you, give us your thoughts.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for your latest book that you published. It really provided a lot of language for me to be able to push back on some of that misandry that I'm encountering in the workplace.
Wow.
In terms of along with the theme of the broadcast tonight, I'm a life coach.
Oh.
And when I first started out, granted, a life coach is not a therapist, but sometimes in order for people to be able to accomplish certain goals, you end up having to have some deep conversations. And I had some of those conversations with some people that were really close to me. And it was some serious stuff going back to childhood. And I told him, I said, brother, I don't mind talking to you, but I'm not equipped to help you unpack this. Mm-hmm. And I recommended him for therapy. Mm-hmm. And I saw him probably about like a month later. And he let me know, like, hey, I took your advice, but I had 2 sessions with different therapists. And he basically, along the lines of some of the tweets and things, he basically was like, yo, the therapists were talking down to me.
Right.
And he's like, I'm reaching out for help. And I'm getting injured in my quest for help. And it was something that was so profound to me. And him and I, we're great friends and great friends still, but I I can't lie to you. It was something that when he told me what he went through,
right,
I felt like shit because I recommended, yeah, hey, you go seek therapy, not knowing that this was a thing.
Right. At this point, I would say for Black men who are deciding to go into psychology, deciding to do therapy, you're going to actually have to stay well read on Black male studies and Black masculinist thought, because at the end of the day, what you need to preserve is your understanding of Black male humanity, because that's one of the first things eliminated, it seems, from the very training you get. And so we need a bevy of scholars who are coming out as therapists, who are trained in identifying not just how human Black men are, but what are the particular tropes? What's the history? What are the experiences? What are the kinds of cultural issues?
And guys, a lot of the talking points now are seared in Black male misandry. They love throwing bricks at Black men and tricking the unsuspected about their visceral hatred towards innocent men that have not done anything wrong. Some of you women that are listening, you got sons. If you don't speak out against this kind of behavior, then I'll say, woe be unto you, because Teddy said,
for tomorrow, so you gotta reap what you sow.
What are the kinds of societal issues that Black men grapple with? You need to be well embedded in that to be able to remember and interpret Black male humanity, because these people, as someone said earlier, have no empathy, and that empathy, if they ever had it, is trained out of them. It's trained out of them. Anything else you wanted to share, Better You, before we move on? Humanity, because these people, as someone said earlier, have no empathy, and that empathy, if they ever had it, is trained out of them. It's trained out of them. Anything else you wanted to share, Better You, before we move on?
Oh no, I just want to say thank you once again for having me on and allowing me to share that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop. I'm about to head into the gym, but thank you so much, Doctor.
Hey man, thank you, bro.
Yeah, Better You, that's a bar. I'm a quote you for that, because
yeah,
appreciate it. Yeah, have a good night, brothers.
I'm getting injured in my quest for help.
Right. We got buzzer cam. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, hold on.
Give us your thoughts.
Good. Listen. Hello, Dr. T. Thank you. I'm grateful to talk to you, Doc, about this. Here's I'll explain this. I never went to therapy or a counselor. Now take it back. You in the high school, we used to have counselors so we could go to the office to talk to our problems, and that's happened here and there. So I had one in my high school at the time.
Society is already very difficult.
Now, once again, guys, this woman here appears to be a broken woman. She appears to be a broken woman, not aware of her own pathology. And once again, some of these women, they become therapists to understand themselves. But while they're trying to understand themselves, they go to something called transference, where they transfer, or or go to what's called countertransference, where they identify with the person that either helped them or hurt them. And so it sounds like this woman is going to do what's called countertransference.
For Black people in general. And for people to call into question saying that I hate black men is asinine to me, because black everything matters. Black everything matters. When they see you walking down the street, they don't see a human being. They see what's been perpetuated in society. They see what's been perpetuated in the media, that you're aggressive, that you're violent. But I know that these behaviors that are being exhibited are actually...
And guys, we all know that it's a lie. They take a percentage of men that we know personify these traits, and they say all black men. We know that there's some decent women. It's not enough, but we know there are some decent women that are remnant women. But we don't say all black women are horrible. But a lot of this stuff, guys, is propaganda. And some, sadly, many keep falling for. I think it's by design to keep the genders fighting against one another.
Depression and anxiety. And unfortunately, society has taught you that anger and lashing out and fighting back is the only acceptable response. I am pleading that y'all seek help, because women are hurting. We want you to be better. But I'm getting attacked. People are calling my employment, asking that I get fired because I want you guys to be better. Again, like I said, I apologize for my delivery. This is a little spicy sometimes. But just know that my anger and my frustration and my passion is coming from a place of needing. I need y'all to heal. I don't need it. Society needs it. You need it. Have enough pride about yourself to want to do better. I understand I might not be the clinician for everyone, but I'm damn good at my job. I understand I might not be the clinician for anybody, but I've sparked a conversation. I've shook the table. If the words that I'm saying are resonating with you, please go talk to somebody. If there's a gap, fill that gap. Become counselors, become mental health professionals, so we can heal each other, so we can heal ourselves. All that I ask.
Okay, I didn't stop it, so that was just a short clip.
Yeah.
Now, did you get anything out of that, bro?
Shout out to my man Gregory Scotland, as he's one of the #1 sponsors. He says not enough anymore for women to say that it's not enough for a woman to say that she's not something. She needs to speak out against the bad behavior of females. I totally agree, brother. You are 1,000,000% correct. And Gregory Scotland, you are dynamite.
Hello, lucky person. You got the number right, because you are talking to kid a dynamite. Pure dynamite.
Other psychologists, trained professional psychologists, have told me they think that she needs psychological help. So those that's not my perspective. That's from other trained professionals. So I would start. So on one hand, I actually do feel some level, like I do feel bad for her on some level. On another hand, like that was performative, right? And a couple of things stood out to me. She said initially, she caught herself, but she said that we need to heal for the community because we are hurting Black women.
Right.
Notice that this is a very slight difference, but if you pay attention to you can catch this very slight nuance. The healing isn't for Black men themselves.
Get it.
It is so that Black women can be better.
You see that?
So it's not that. So at the end of the day, even our healing for her is based on something being better for her, and not something that's just better for Black men.
Y'all see why I fucked with Dr. Harris, man? That's my boy right there. I didn't even have to say it, man. He caught it like a football, baby. That's what I'm saying. It was never about our own healing, our own humanity, none of that. It was about being better for Black women. And just to indict Black men as a whole, as a therapist.
And guys, that's the entitlement that you're going to see in a few minutes. That's the entitlement and that's the arrogance that so many see.
Who's trying to help. You indict black men as a whole on the basis of supporting black women's need for us to somehow make their lives better by not being these kind of terroristic beings that we saw stated in these previous tweets. That in and of itself is wholly problematic.
All right, guys, I want to show y'all something real quick. Let me release this. And give me 1 minute. We're going to end the stream in a minute. But I'm going to show you guys something that Obsidian was talking about. And this more or less harkens to what we're talking about. Average at best women. Obsidian brought this to my attention. I think we need to go back and review it a little bit. Hold tight.
Now, with all that being said, we're going to now move to our main topic.
And based on what Tyler Perry was saying, even though he's suspect, he was saying as long as a man makes some money, a woman should be willing to understand that. But we know that these modern hyenas are not going to accept that. They're not going to accept a man that's paying for some of the bills because they're selfish by nature.
24 minutes past the hour. Matter of fact, I'm way behind in the station break. So let me go ahead and make this station ID break, and we will be right back.
You are listening to Obsidian Radio. Let's get back to the action with Mumia Obsidian Ali.
24 minutes past the hour. You're listening to Mumia Obsidian Ali, Obsidian Radio, and I am your host, Mumia Obsidian Ali, and I always forget to turn that off. And we are here to talk about average at best women. Y'all remember that? You know where that phrase came from. I don't need to explain it. Average at best women wanting exceptional men. Now, in and of itself, that's not a problem. In this dojo, we don't begrudge women for being women. It's in a woman's nature to want a man better than herself. That's hypergamy. I got no problem with that. None of the brothers in this dojo have a problem with that. But see, the lovely ladies in the community, they take it too far. See, they just don't want a brother but they may be average at best, and they want a brother that may be above average. Okay. No, they don't want that. They want a brother that's exceptional. They want a brother that's in the stratosphere. See, that changes things. You want a brother on that level, then we're going to have to start asking some hard questions. Questions that many of the lovely ladies don't want to hear. But they drew first blood. So now we got to go into it. So there are these lovely ladies online talking about how coffee dates are unacceptable because they just all that in a bag of chips. We're going to find out in a minute. Oh, yes, we are. We're going to find out in a hot minute. But first, we got to get caught up on the super chats. We are way behind on that. My man Wrench Turner starts us off with a $10 super chat. He says, shout out to Machismo TV and my man Salty Ball.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Salty Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Thank you so much for your support. And who, speak of the devil, my man Salty Balls comes through with a $100 super chat.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
And he says, on behalf of Machismo TV, my man Salty Balls.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Salty Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Brother, thank you so much for that. Let me get my man Soul to Soul Travel in the building with the $5 super chat. He writes, tides on this beautiful Friday. Much love to the platform and members of the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that. My man Chris Hutchinson in the building with the $5 super chat writes, I don't make anywhere near Mr. Perry, and only poor people I interact with are people in my own family. Friends and associates are middle class plus even black men. Birds of a feather flock together. What you doing hanging around broke ass dudes for? So we're going to talk about this at next year's conclave, success, how success changes a man. Once you reach a certain amount of success, you shouldn't be hanging around dudes like that no more. Either they're going to come along with you or they're going to get left behind. As it happens everywhere else on planet Earth, Black America should need no exception. Appreciate you, Chris Hutchinson. My man's right there. My man Nick Dowell's in the building with the $5 super chat writes, anyone who thinks Obsidian is off the mark, go overseas and see what 50-50 gets you. Hurt feelings. It costs to be the boss. Act accordingly. Here. My man Dave Dixon, who was at the conclave smoking a big stogie, comes through with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says the number one rule of selling, you sell people things they want, not what you want to sell them. As we're hearing now, this not only applies to products and services, but ideas too. Oh, yes, sir. See, I will never hate on Ace Metaphor for being successful. I will never hate on him for that. The man is, I never hated on Derek Jackson for being successful. Never hated on him for that. You never once heard me hate on Derek Jackson for being successful, for being talented, for being hardworking. You never heard me say that. If black women want to pay him or Ace Metaphor or Steve Harvey to hear the bullshit that they tell, it's a free market. A fair exchange is no robbery. But let's call it for what it is. It is bullshit. If I was sitting in front of Tyler Perry right now, I would tell him to his face, that's a goddamn bullshit ass lie and you know it. If I was sitting in front of Luther Vandross, I would tell him he's faking the funk. But I understand why he's faking the funk.
And it's a noble idea, what Tyler is saying, but reality, Obsidian is correct. They're not going to allow that because by nature they are hypergamous and many are exploitative in their hypergamy.
He makes excellent music. And there's a lot of black women that are lonely and desperate that want to hear him make good music. And he did make, I'm a big Luther fan. I don't give a damn he's gay. There are going to be some brothers right now. See what Obsidian said? He didn't care that he's gay. No, I don't. And neither did millions of other black people. Men and women alike, they ain't give a shit. And Luther Vandross was smart not to
shout out to my man Gregory Scotland. He's climbed to be the #1 sponsor. And he said Tyler's off on this. Black men overall make more money than black women. Also, most of us take better care of our money than black women, and I agree with that. And Gregory Scotland, you are dynamite.
Lucky person, you got the number right, because you are talking to kid a dynamite. Pure dynamite.
keep that out of the mix and just focus on making good music. That was smart business. Not this woke bullshit that we got going on right now. If Bud Light would have did what Luther Vandross did, they wouldn't be in the fucked up situation they in right now. If Gillette would have did what Luther Vandross did, they wouldn't be in a fucked up situation they in right now. So no, I'm not going to hate on my brother Ace Metaphor for doing what he's doing and being successful. But what I am going to do with Ace Metaphor is tell him, make no mistake about it, my brother. You're telling the lovely ladies what they want to hear, not what they need to hear, because I know and you know that I know that you can't tell the lovely ladies what they want to hear. You can't. And we know that's true. How do we know that that's true? We know that's true because he tried it and look at how that turned out.
And that's a misconception. I have a question for you, because the way you just said it before Tripp responded in regards to caring about health and putting health first and us being the cookers in our households and basically leaders in that aspect. Do you think that the message will be received better if you said it that way?
No. Because I think we've been talking nicely, like, girl, you thick and you healthy, you eat. We've been doing that for a long time. We haven't had a moment like, bitch, you fat. And you need to lose weight. And I have fat women every day come to me and be like, thank you. I needed someone to tell me I'm fat. I'm tired of my homegirls being like, some men like me, girl.
Women that she called like fluffy.
it is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go back in the archive, pull it up. Houston, we have a problem. That's the name of the show. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about in case you missed it. All right, so let's get to my talking points memo for today's show, shall we? And then we're going to get right into the good stuff here. Going to cook with some fish grease.
Shout out to my man Greg with Scotland once again as he's slowly rising to become the #1 sponsor. He said, black men and women in general, be careful with women that you get involved. Many have a serious debt problem. Black men and men in general, I'm sorry. Many have serious debt problems and are poor with their finances. And I agree with that 1,000,000%, Brother Scotland. And in the words of Porky Pig,
That's all, folks.
Talking points memo #1. The lovely ladies are right, sort of. The lovely ladies are right, sort of. You say, I'm sitting, what are you talking about, bro? What you talking about, Willis? Let me explain what I mean. See, like I said earlier in the lead-off opening diatribe segment addressing one Mr. Tyler Perry, who I have a lot of respect for. He's a very successful black man, self-made. He didn't come from money. He didn't come from wealth or privilege. He got it out the mud. I got nothing but respect for that. It doesn't matter that he makes stuff that I disagree with. That's irrelevant. As I was saying during the Black Manosphere Conclave, and according to blackdemographics.com, demographic statistical data by black people for black people, 41% of black men made nothing in the year 2021. They made zero. Nothing. No money at all. 41%. Only 30% of black men made between 30 and 50 grand in the year 2021. 30%. Only 20% of black men made between 50 and 75K in 2021. 20%. Between 50 and 75. And only 13% of black men make $75,000 or more a year. 1-3. So when the sisters have been saying all these years that there are not enough brothers, and we all know what they mean when they say eligible, they mean educated and well to high earning, and education and earning are correlated. There are not enough of those brothers to go around. They're not lying. They're right when they say that. The numbers back them up. See, the problem was all these lovely ladies out here who have been saying this for years and years and years, all these ladies out here windmilling talking about they got their... I'm a PhD. See, they didn't present the numbers like that. It took a blue-collar brother to present those numbers. It took a blue-collar brother to do it at the conclave, me. But, nevertheless, they're right. There are not enough of brothers like that to go around. That's true. That is true. They're not wrong to make that point. They're not wrong about that. The numbers back them up. Ain't but 13% of black men to make over 75 grand a year, man. 50% of black men make somewhere between 30 and 74,000
I'm going to speed this up a little bit, guys. I'm not going to go through all of this, but you guys are
all black men.
Hold tight.
Half. Want me to do it again? I'll do it again. This right here, I'm going to tell you where it is, but let me run it again so you can see exactly what's going on, and then I'm going to tell you the point that I'm making in this video. Let's run this again. What was that? That. And I'll run it again while I do my commentary. This is called Polaris. Okay? Polaris. It is a rooftop restaurant at the top of the Hyatt Regency in downtown Atlanta. The brother that you saw me panning on with the mustard yellow jacket, that's Jason Brown, my brother, one of the 4 horsemen of the Black Manosphere Conclave. We went up there to grab drinks after the whole thing was over. he and I. You don't see no sisters up here, do you? Where the black women at? Where all the single ladies at? All the women that you see are blancas. They white. Where the lovely ladies at? Where they at? Tell me. I did this on my iPhone. Did a panoramic view of everything where we sit there. We sitting at the bar. I did a panoramic view of everything around me. 360 degrees. You tell me where the lovely ladies is at. There's some white women in there. There's a couple white guys in there. You don't see no black women. We sitting at the penthouse, all the way up on the top. It is a rotating restaurant. It rotates on an axis. So when I tell you fellas that the places where I go, you can count the number of black women that you see there. If you see any at all, I ain't bullshitting. This was just from last week in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. The only brothers in there is me and Jason sitting at the bar. So let's try this again. The lovely ladies out here windmilling about all this. I need this. I need that. Stop it. Stop the fucking cap. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all sisters ain't rolling out here like that, making demands, and y'all can barely get a brother to take you to Applebee's. Stop it. Because I know the truth. This idea that Obsidian need to go outside. Nigga, I'm outside all the time. I just don't put it on my fucking phone. There's a brother in the chat room right now. He knows all about it. Here he is. He said, I throw events there all the time. I guarantee he can back up everything I'm saying right here. I bet money on it. I don't even know the brother. I bet money on it. He'll back up everything I'm saying right now. I'm in these places. I'm telling you what I see. On the off chance I do see sisters, they are almost invariably single. It's rare to see a brother, it's rare to see a sister with a brother on his arm that look like he got money, balling out of control on him. That's rare. It happens, but rare. I've been a member of the Pyramid Club for 3 years here in Philly. And I have yet to see, when I go in the executive dining room where they say, yes, Mr. Obsidian, for you and Miss Brown Sugar, your usual table is ready. I have yet to see sisters up in there with brothers on their arm looking out over the skyline of Philly. I've yet to see that happen in 3 years straight. And when the sisters that are there, once again, single, herd of heifers, single. Me and Jason was at the chart house last year. It was me, him, my lady, his lady, and to our right, what do you see? A table full of single heifers, once again. Single. Sprinkle, sprinkle equals single, single. You see white women here? Where the sisters at? Where? Where they at? In Atlanta, of all places. Where? By the way, while I'm on that point, some of y'all might have seen this already, but for those who haven't, this is what an old-fashioned looks like. You go right ahead. This is a smoked old-fashioned. This will be very interesting. That's old-fashioned. Yeah. Me and Jason grabbing drinks up at Polaris. I've been corrected. That's the proper way of pronouncing it. Polaris. Yeah. Having an after-work cocktail. Not a sister in sight. Not one. Other than the wait staff. So when I hear these sisters out here, talking about, they got to have Del Frisco's, they got to have Mastros, they got to have Fogo de Chao, all I do is just laugh. I just smile. You have no idea what you're talking about. So I let it slip now. You want to know what my shot is? I just let it slip. Old-fashioned. There you go. These ladies do not know these guys. And how could they? They ain't but 13% of brothers that making over 75 grand. Most black women have never seen. You know what it's like? Let me get geeky here for a minute. It's like in the Star Wars universe. Most people in the Star Wars universe.
And so, guys, it goes back to the lack of self-awareness that I talked about earlier. It goes back to the lack of self-awareness. And the lack of self-awareness, guys, has led to hoflation. women that got subpar behavior expecting top tier men. And they're trying to shame you into taking a bad deal, something that you don't have to do. If you're making either 75 plus, some say that's not a lot of money. That's a myth. $75,000 is good money depending on where you're living at. If you're living in California, perhaps not. If you're living in New York or DC, perhaps not. But it's all in how you manage your money. Not a bad salary. And then some might talk about taxes, and that's only about $50,000 after taxes. But to me, that doesn't matter. It's all how you manage your money, and if you live within or beneath your means. And most people don't.
Have never even seen a Jedi. We watching the movies. We used to seeing Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker and Yoda and Mace Windu. We used to it. But for the average person that lives in the Star Wars universe, they've never seen a Jedi before. They've heard about them. They might have seen them on HoloNet News or something, but they don't know any Jedis. They never seen a Jedi. For a lot of black women, high post brothers are like Jedis. They never seen one before. They just heard about them. They might have seen them on TV or something, but they don't actually know any. Just think about that for a minute. Just think about that. Being a high post brother is like being a Jedi Knight or Jedi Master that few have ever actually seen before. So these lovely ladies out here on social media just windmilling. They need to stop. They really do. And I'm not talking about all black women here. And I'm not. I'm talking about that loud, noisy group of sisters out here windmilling. They need to stop. Before I start using my iPhone make a good camera, by the way. Before I start using my iPhone and really start embarrassing them here. Talking points memo number 3. Here we go. Let me go to talking points memo number 3. And I think it's appropriate while I got the panoramic view of Polaris. You don't qualify for that. Water seeks its own level always. So you can ask for whatever you want. See, that's a new wrinkle right now. Ladies, ask for what you want. You can ask for anything that you like. Just because you ask for something don't mean you're going to get it. I can ask for a McLaren all day, but if I ain't got what it takes to get a McLaren, guess what's going to happen? I ain't going to get a McLaren. So ladies, you can ask for whatever you want, but just because you ask for it don't mean you're going to get it. You can't manifest your way into Polaris, ladies. And all the manifesting in the world ain't going to get you there. You got to qualify for that. Period, point blank. Okay? Watch this. He said you can find me at Spire73. Hey, bro, is what I'm saying right or wrong? Watch this.
And the problem is, guys, many don't qualify. I'm going to end the stream in a minute. I just want to show you guys how when you don't know what your worth is, you a simp for subpar behavior and subpar women. I'm going to end the stream in a minute, but I just want you guys to see what Obsidian was talking about. And he's correct.
No sisters here. Make that make sense. But they're going to be shot calling. Talking about, I don't go on coffee dates. Sis, you don't go on these dates either. Because if you did, we would see you. We don't see you out here. Stop it. My man Dave Dixon in the building comes through with a $10 super chat. He was at the conclave. Winning and achievement is a language and losing is too. If someone is negative towards the word qualify, that tells you what language they are speaking. Exactly. And black women and black men too, to be fair. But in this case, black women, they tell them themselves all the time. All you gotta do is just stand back and let them talk. They spill the beans on themselves all the time. How do you think I make money every day? Oh, black female fucker. You think I'm pulling confessions out of them, beating them with a rubber hose? I don't think so. No guarantees in the building with a $10 super chat rights. Success to you, brother Obsidian. Happy Friday to all. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, my brother. I appreciate it. So with that being said, I want to bring to your now keep in mind, this is what you're seeing here, right? Keep in mind, this is what you're seeing here at Polaris, right? Keep that in mind. Keep that mental image in your mind. Now we're going to go to when I had my nice smoked old fashioned. Okay? Let me run it back for you. I want you to keep all this in mind as we go to these next videos. Okay? No sisters at the bar at all. None. Zero. Ain't no sister sipping on no top shelf here. None. Okay? Keep that in mind. Now we're going to go to this video that came across my feed last night. Matter of fact, the video was so good, I incorporated it into my Sexes on the Menu presentation at the Black Manosphere Conclave. But I said, I'm going to do it again on the air when I get back home. That's how powerful this video is. I want you to watch the fuckery. Here we go.
Ladies in the dating pool, let me show you how to redirect your way out of a low budget experience. Okay, this is a potential suitor. He has no number saved because period. Y'all already know how I roll. Good morning. It was great speaking with you last night. I woke up so refreshed. I would love to take you to coffee this week. Does Wednesday work? Okay, you cannot take me to coffee or tea on the first.
And God, this heifer is trying to teach women how to scam men. Talking about she don't do any coffee. And guys, once again, go and simp no more.
And simp no more.
Dates. It's not equitable for me. I don't drink coffee and my perfume costs too much, so don't play. All right, so I hail from corporate America. We're going to use the sandwich effect here. 6 years in the C-suite. We about to use this. Okay, boom. So I say, good morning. It was great speaking with you also. It's actually restaurant week coming up. Here's the link. Let me know which one you decide. I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to start off with something good, okay? It was great speaking with you also. I'm not even addressing the coffee, baby. We're going to redirect you in the middle, then I'm going to end with something great saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We're also putting the ball back in his court because he's a grown-ass man, okay? You need to make the decision. So he goes.
Bad energy, bad attitude, and extremely entitled.
I just looked over the options. Let's do Italian. Perfect. So he goes, Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm like, works for me. I'm in Alexandria and I'm not far. If you could pick me up or send me an Uber, that would be awesome because why would you want me working on cobblestone? Why would you want me looking for parking? Sounds laborious to me. He goes, no problem. I'll send an Uber around 6:15. Baby is a new man. He is a new man. And I go, wonderful. Thank you. Ask for what you want. Be polite in your ass. Be a little bit difficult and always say please and thank you. There you go.
Okay, so that is what you heard. Right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the receipts now. This is the lady who's making all those demands. Here we go. There it is, bro. This is the lady that's making all these demands.
And God, this again is what you're getting on your return on this investment. Hoflation, as I said earlier, guys, is real.
Coffee date ain't good enough. I'm going to redirect you to this and C-suite sandwich method, all of which I'm very familiar with. Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop. Let me take down the banner. I want you to get the full effect. Stop. This is what's making all these demands. This right here.
Look at that fupa, guys. Marvin Winans hit that beat.
And simp no more.
Now, don't get me wrong. Would I hit it? Yeah, I hit it. Sure. Would I hit it? You goddamn right. But this idea that she making demands off rip, this right here is making all those fucking demands. You know what? Where's Rudy Ray Moore when you need him? God damn it!
He made me do it.
Bitch, are you for real?
This right here is making all these demands. This. And she looking every bit of like 180, 190, pushing the scale on 200. But she making all these demands. Right here. This. With the pug nose. This right here. Would I hit it? Yes. I would. Yes, I would. Would I hit it? Yes, I would. But is she going to browbeat me into taking her to this? Where's Rudy Ray when you need him again?
He made me do it.
Bitch, are you for real?
That's what we on here. This is going to browbeat me. This right here. This is going to browbeat me into taking her to this. And I'm supposed to take that shit serious.
He made me do it. Bitch, are you for real?
Now again, I ain't gonna front. Would I hit it? Yeah, I hit it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Would I hit it? Yes. Yes, I would. And I'd take her right to Applebee's. That's what you qualify for. Listen, we're gonna keep it all the way a stack. If you a big girl, you can't be demanding Del Frisco's. If you a big girl, you can't be demanding Budokan. If you a big girl, you chunky like that, you can't be. Now, if it's one thing, if you really sweet and you not having no expectation, and a brother just do that of his own free will, that's one thing. I'm talking.
Right. We're not talking about women that are overweight and they're humble. But when you got demands, no, you can't be making no demands if you don't meet the proper aesthetic.
You heard the tape. She making demands. Sis, you don't qualify for that. Since we're gonna play hardball with it, okay. We want to do the corporate thing. We're gonna play hardball. Fair enough. See, if you're just gonna be really sweet, you a plump patty, but you really sweet, that's one thing. I'll go along with that. She's really sweet girl. Fair enough. You want to come and play hardball? Okay then. All right then. That's how we rolling. All right then. Well then, if that's how we gonna play it, sis, you don't qualify for this. And here's the proof. Watch the panoramic view. Watch this. Keep it out now. Watch this. Watch this. Ready? Here we go. Watch this. Stop right there. Do those ladies look like this? Come on now. Shimon. Do those ladies in that video that you saw right here? Wait, hold on. Back it up. Back it up. Oh, easy. Back it up. Come on now. Do these lovely ladies sitting at that bar, stop right there. Do those ladies right there, them white Southern, good Christian white Southern belles, do they look like this? Come on now. Come on. Come on now. If that's how we going to play it, all right, you going to make demands. You're saying restaurant, and we can see the reason why you like restaurant week. We can see why. We can see the reason why you like Italian. We can see why you like all that creamy Alfredo sauce. We get it. Listen, I ain't mad at you because I would hit it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not. Yes, I would hit it. I will hit that pug nose, plump beauty there. I will hit it. But you're gonna be making demands that I take you to the deluxe apartment in the sky? I don't think so. If that's how we gonna go with it, and understand, know something. I can afford to do it. I can afford it. See, this is what I'm talking about, brothers. This is what I'm talking about. Is she cute? Sure. She's a little on the hefty side. But she ain't in no position to be making no demands, though. This is what I'm talking about. Now, if she was just a straight up dime, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Sis, you are not a dime. You're not a 7. You're not even a 6. With that, let's be honest. Be honest. See, you got a lot of average at best. And she is average. The average black woman is 5'4" and damn near 200 pounds. That's the average black women. And it is not my fault that black women conflate getting some good dick with getting taken to Polaris. That's not my fault. If a black woman can't make the distinction between getting bent over and getting some good dick and then getting taken to Del Frisco's, that's their dumb ass. And see, this is what I'm talking about with black women who are average at best, wanting exceptional men. But what is the ROI? She said she was in the C-suite. She couldn't have been somebody important. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Since she's the one that brought up the corporate, she's been in corporate America for 6 years. You couldn't have been a player. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because the number one trait of CEOs is that they're all healthy. They work out 4 times a week. Does this woman look like she work out 4 times a week to you? Does she? Does this woman right here look like she work out 4 times a week? Does that look like 4 times a week in the gym to you? I would not have said any of this if she didn't bring up all of that you saw in that video. She'd have said, listen, I want a brother that treat me right, show me a good time, and just left it at that. Fair enough. She's the one that opened the door on this. So I'm like, all right, cool. That's where we at with it. Fair enough. With all due respect, it looked like she'd be out of breath coming up like 3 or 4 flights of stairs, if she make it that far. No disrespect. I wouldn't have brought it up if she didn't. But she's the one that went there. All right, then. Since you don't qualify for that, you better be happy with some Friendlies and some Applebee's, maybe a Red Lobster. Maybe. Maybe. But she wants Polaris. She wants Del Frisco's. She wants Spire 73. She wants Mastros. I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't qualify for that. And the reason why you don't qualify for, I mean, aside from your, and she was being a bitch. She says it in the video, be a little bit difficult. Oh, no, you mean being a bitch. Let's call it for what it is, sis. You mean being a bitch. Aside from you being a loudmouth, mile-a-minute bitch, then you want to come in here and you chunky at that? I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't qualify for that. And I can say that with authority. I can say I ain't one of these dusty niggas that y'all used to dealing with. And none of my partners get down like they ain't none of us dusty. Now, we may not appeal to you sexually. That's fine. You may not agree with what we're saying. That's fine. But ain't none of us dusty. So that we're clear. See, this is what I'm talking about. Average at best women want exceptional men. But what's the ROI? You tell me what the ROI is. You heard what she said. I'm showing you what.
And guys, there is no ROI. There is no ROI because she wants you to take care of all her children.
Somebody needs to pay for all my children.
She wants you to take care of all her children.
And Gary, all our suffering, all our pain. Somebody needs to be held accountable, and they need to pay.
And she was a black queen, yet mama was a...
And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
What she is, there it is. It's right there. This is about as close as you're going to get to naked. So what's the ROI for me? I got to deal with her mouth, her being difficult and being a bitch, plus... she half a dime. What is the, but yet and still, I'm supposed to take that to Polaris. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to drop $200, $300, $400 a night on that. That's what I'm supposed to do. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, my brothers. Make it make sense. I'm all ears. Explain this shit to me. Make it make sense. Now, she'd have came at it a whole lot differently because I'm a generous guy. Alpha males are generous. I'm a generous guy. If she'd have came at it differently, it'd have been a whole different conversation. But she coming through the door making demands. And she coming through the door, she waddling through the door looking like this. Really.
And guys, a lot of them are victims of hoflation. A lot of them are victims of hoflation, guys, and they don't make them like Florence Evans. They don't make them like Florence Evans that was willing to work with her man and help him build.
Or instead, struggle like Flo and James Evans. Damn.
Florida. Yeah, they don't make them like Florida Evans, guys.
When I know good and goddamn well that you go to the C-suite, you don't see no white women looking like that. You go in corporate America unless they old. You'll see white women look like this when they old. White women in their 50s. You don't see no young white women in the C-suite looking like that. Since she was the one that wanted to mention the C-suite. She was the one that mentioned corporate America. Not me. She did. Now, she would have been a sweet girl that was accommodating, cooperative, sweet, agreeable. That's one thing. But she coming in the door playing hardball with a soft body like that? I don't think so. Ain't nothing hard about this broad but her fucking mouth. And she ain't got no chick, no child that damn big. Make it so you can imagine if for those brothers that are in the market for a wife, you can project it out. If this is where she at before the kids, imagine where she's going to be at after the kids. And of course, she's single. This is footage, by the way. Remember that Usher concert? Y'all remember that Usher concert in Vegas? She was there. That's what this is from. And she's exactly. Ain't no collarbone, but she got some neck fat there. We see the neck fat. See the neck rolls. Ain't no collarbones though. But yet and still, I'm supposed to take that here. That's what I'm supposed to do. Again, if she'd have came at it, see, this is what a lot of big girls don't want to accept. If you're a big girl, you got to accept that you got to be really sweet. It's just like with us short kings. Brothers, if you're a short king, you got to get your money up. Not my opinion. This is the University of Chicago studies. If you're a man that's 5'6", you got to bring in 175 grand. That's not my opinion. You got to compensate. If you're a big girl, you got to be really sweet and accommodating. That's the truth. All that bitchiness and all the rest of it, that is for your fine ass Tom Ford heels wearing sisters. And they don't make no Tom Ford heels for no big old chunky broad like you. They don't. You know what they make for you? Wedge heels, chunky heels. They don't make them little skinny stiletto Tom Ford heels for you. And that's just the truth. If we're going to play hardball with this, if that's where we at with it, we're going to play hardball, let's play hardball. Let's play. If that's how we're going to do it, let's play. You don't qualify for that, sis. I would have texted sis back. I'm sorry, sis. Looking at you, and I would have texted her back this image and would have told her, you don't qualify for that. You qualify for some rock climbing. We can do some rock climbing together and get a smoothie afterward. We can do that. We can do some power walking together and get a smoothie after that. We can go on the nature trail hike, go on the hiking trail, bike riding, and get a smoothie after that. But you don't qualify for Del Frisco's right off the rip. Look at you. You don't. I mean, come on. You don't. That's the truth. Just like if I'm not making the kind of money to go to a Polaris, to go to a Del Frisco's, to go to a Mastro's, to go to a Roof Chris Steakhouse, to go to Fogo de Chao, if I don't make that kind of money, I don't qualify. Period, point blank. Well, sis, you don't qualify to be getting Restaurant Week. I'm sorry. If anything, you need to back away off of Restaurant Week from what I'm seeing. That's just the truth. I mean, the truth just has to be told. We can do a gym date together. I'm down. We can hit the treadmill together. I'm down. Do you see what I'm talking about, my brothers? These sisters do not qualify to get the Polaris treatment. They don't qualify for that. But they out here windmilling, talking shit, and all it's going to do is make more sisters single. Especially now with the passport, bro. You think these lovely ladies in other countries talking this crazy shit? You really believe that? Let me get my man Pablo up here and see what he tell you. You do not see no lovely ladies in Medellin talking some dumbass cocking bullshit like that. So why should a brother put up with that when all he got to do is hop a flight, go down there, and the same type of money he'll be dropping on her, he can have 2, 3, 4, 5 chicas? Why? Who will be glad and appreciative of his efforts? You tell me. You cannot make this shit up. Now I want to bring to you the next video. And in order to do that, I got to take this down. And I got to go to my share screens. I got to share the whole thing. So let me share the screen. And then we can bring this up. So let me see. Okay. Let me pull up my player. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me pull up my player. Yeah. Now this comes from Facebook. Young brother by the name of Jeremy Holloway. You might have heard of him. Good young brother. He does some interesting commentary over on Facebook. The lady that you see on the right-hand side of the screen, I don't know her name, but I've seen her before. Let's listen to the commentary.
We're saying no to buffer dates. We're saying no to walks in the park. We're saying no to all of that low effort, low intentional, low frequency. And I'm about to tell you why. A date is a decision. The type of date reflects the type of decision maker. A good decision. So you want the coffee dates. You want the strolls through the park. You want it all. You don't have a problem with none of that. And that's all good. Welcome to the Goddess in the Circle. My name is Tasha, Women's Empowerment Specialist, and we do women's empowerment over here. There's quite a few of you women who drop the same kind of comment in my video. And the beautiful thing about the Goddess in the Circle is we have an Empowered Woman's Manifesto that we live by. One of the Empowered Woman Manifesto confessions is that I will not dictate to another woman how she should live her life. We don't try to tell women how to live their life over here in the Goddess Inner Circle. The Goddess Inner Circle, we're a different set of women than you. We've done the research. We've had enough experience in relationship to know what works and what doesn't work. And more importantly, we understand value exchange. We understand our value intrinsically and perceived. And so many of you guys want walks in the park. If you want to walk in the park, risk adding to a femicide stack, knock yourself out. If you want to find yourself in some coffee shop where everybody is freeloading, getting free Wi-Fi, talking loud, you sitting less than 12 inches from the next person, you can't gather any information, you're hearing coffee orders, knock yourself out.
So this inner circle is
all right. So he goes into his commentary. You can check him out on Facebook. This came from earlier this year around January, but brother brought it to my attention. You see her on that tape there. And she used the phrase value exchange. That's what she said. See, I listened very carefully to what the lovely lady said. See, a lot of black women think that black men don't listen to them. That's not true. This brother right here listens very carefully to what you lovely ladies say. Just don't get mad when I respond in kind. This lady, Tasha Young is her name. She used the word value exchange. Okay. So with all that gray that you got in the front, down at the roots, sis, around your edges, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of value because you're an older lady. So let's have it. What kind of value do you have that merits you getting this? I want to hear it. Because clearly you are a lady of more mature year. To be fair, I'm 54. I'll be 55 in a few months. Fair enough. Black men, silver foxes like me, we're supposed to date age appropriately. We're not supposed to date ladies in our 20s. That's a pedophile, right? Right? We're not supposed to date ladies in our 30s. A brother like me, I'm 54. I'm not supposed to date a lady in the 30s, right? I'm supposed to date age appropriately. Got it. Fine. She said value exchange. Okay. So what value am I getting here? What is the value? I show you my value. The fact that I can sit at the bar here proves that I have value. So what value is she giving me? Real talk. What value is she giving me? She used the word value exchange, not me. You heard what she said. What value is she giving me? What is the value? What is it? Clearly, it has to be something because she's a woman of advanced years. We can see that in the roots in her hair. She got all that gray in the roots of her hair. Okay, fair enough. What is the value proposition? What is the value exchange? What is it? Tell me. Because clearly it can't be the fact that you here. The fact that you ain't here tells me that you ain't got but so much value. I'm there, but you're not. So who has the value here? Who? Who among us has actual value here? I'm here, you're not. See, this is the reason why, now you see, the reason why I played that song. Some of you already figured it out already, but in case some of you have not figured out what I'm talking about, there's a song that I play with ladies who are straight up delusional ladies who sound crazy, ladies who sound like they belong at Bellevue, like that lady, and she does look crazy. I've seen a number of her videos. I didn't know her name until somebody put it in the chat room. Her name is Tasha Young. She's this goddess. Where are all the goddesses at? Tell me where all the goddesses at right here. I don't see no goddesses here. Where they at? Where? Unless you want to tell me that the Blancas are goddesses. You know black women don't like that. So where are these goddesses? Where they at? This is the reason why I play this song when women like Tasha Young get out here windmilling, talking crazy. Exactly. But yet and still, a brother like myself, again, I'm going to use myself. I'm going to center myself. I'm 54. I'm supposed to deal with a lady like that because she's age appropriate. She's clearly over 40. You see the roots in her hair. She's clearly over 40. Okay. I'm supposed to deal with her. I'm supposed to take her to the Casbah, and in return, I get what? What do I get in return? So let's tally up. I'm supposed to take younger ladies who look like this to the Casbah. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Where was that other one? But yeah. Stop right there. Stop right there. Off the top rope. It's one thing that y'all came up together, because that's not another way that big girls can get on. Big girls can get on if you came up together when the brother ain't have nothing. When he was broke, down and out. Y'all got together, he grinded, and you supported him. Okay, fair enough. I'll go along with that. Like Bud Crawford. His lady's a big girl, but she was with him when he didn't have nothing. Okay, I can see that. No. She wants to come off the top rope with it. She wants to get you when you have arrived at Polaris. Now she's demanding that you take her to Polaris off rip. Her arms are bigger than mine. That's the return on investment. Along with all that mouth, all that attitude, disagreeable, being a bitch. That's what I'm supposed to get in return. That's the ROI for an exceptional brother. You know what? Hold on a second. Rudy Ray Moore says it better than me.
He made me do it.
Bitch, are you for real?
We're not even going to get into all the Wookiee weave right there. Must I go there? Must I bring up the bleedingly obvious? This is what I'm paying for? It makes me sound like Martin Luther King. I was in his hometown of Atlanta at the hotel that he called the Hotel of Hope. This is it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? Are you freaking kidding me? Again, if she's really sweet and accommodating and nice and pleasant, that's one thing. And if a brother wants to do all those things for, that's his own free will. No, she making demand. This is what you must do. We're going to redirect it to the date that I say you should take me on. Bitch, please. You don't qualify for that. You lucky if you can get the Hard Rock Cafe out of me. And of course, they never show any receipts. Where all these high-value men that's taking them to here, taking them to there? No, they always single. I tell you, they don't. They're capping. Stop the fucking cap. See, that's a big girl's secret weapon, is being really pleasant, really nice, very accommodating, very agreeable. That's the big girl's secret weapon. Just like for a short king, you know what your secret weapon is? Your wallet. Women forget all about your height when they look at your wallet. Ask me how I know. They forget all about it. Only in Black America do we attempt to fight against this shit. Looking crazy out here, sounding loud and wrong. Only in Black America. So again, I ask. Now, this is a younger woman. I would estimate she's in her 30s, early 30s maybe. Late 20s, early 30s maybe. I could be wrong. This lady over here, she's every bit of post 40. So let's put it together. Let's add it up. On the one side, we got a young big girl with a fucked up attitude and a big ass mouth with all these demands. And on the other side, we got a damn near perimenopausal chick who is just fucking crazy. And this is what's on offer for the best of black men, the top 13%. We're supposed to put up with this shit? Let me do it again. Shout out to the late, great Martin Luther King Jr. This is it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? Yeah. And by the way, did I remind you that this is what I'm supposed to be paying for you? This is what I'm supposed to be paying top dollar off. See, it's one thing if y'all got together, y'all did a little diner date, some coffee, maybe some light fare, and y'all hit it off and y'all like each other, and y'all became a couple, and then you went to pull out. No. They don't want to do that. No. They want that off the top rope. Are you fucking kidding me? So let me get this straight. My choices are big chunky girls who ain't got no business being that big, ain't got no chick, no child, but they big as a fucking house, got all this mouth and all that Wookiee weave making demands, or getting with bitches that are crazy as fuck when they over damn near 50. Those are the choices for the black men who have everything. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. This is what, and they say this shit with a straight face too, man. I showed you the videos. They say this shit with a straight fucking face. Incredible. And I'm just coming back home from Atlanta, from the conclave. Just getting back just earlier this week. You can't make this shit up. When I played that video of this lovely lady right here for the brothers, they was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I was, oh, no. She's dead serious. Between the Shade Room and her own Instagram account, which last time I checked had something like 110,000 followers, that post has gotten over 200,000 views. You cannot make this shit up. Incredible. This is what the best of black men are supposed to deal with. Either this or this crazy broad on the left. That's what we're supposed to do. Off the top rope. Because remember, they don't want to struggle, love. Remember that. Just like we said on yesterday's show, they strong, independent, don't need no man. They got their own shit together. They got their own this, they got their own that.
I'm a PhD.
Oh, yes, but then when shit get real, you supposed to swing in like Batman off a goddamn rope. You supposed to jump out the goddamn window with your red cape on and swing into action to protect their ass. Now today, they tell you, I don't want to do no coffee date. That's not beneath me. My perfume costs more than that. Look like you've been eating the perfume, my man. Look like you've been eating whole bottles of perfume there. You supposed to come off the top rope for this shit. Incredible. She don't want to struggle with a brother. It'd be one thing you're a big girl and you struggle with a brother. Y'all came up together. That's one thing. No, she want to come off the top rope. How's that working out for her? She went to the Usher concert alone. She went back home alone. She riding around alone. She doing the videos alone. How's it working out for this goddess, so-called goddess, Tasha Young? Her crazy ass alone, and all the people that listen to her crazy ass is alone. How's that working out for Prince Sulla, the so-called queen maker? Her crazy ass alone, and all the bitches that listen to them, they alone. Single and motherfucker. Single equals sprinkle. You can't make this shit up. All right, now we're going to hand it over to you. I had a video by Kevin Samuels, my good friend and dearly departed brother, St. Kevin. But you know what? We're going to save that for another day. That's a damn good video. We're going to save that for another day because I want to hear what you have to say. The link is in the chat room. You've seen the fuckery. You've seen my receipts. Make it make sense. How do you bring the two together? Make it make sense. The link is in the chat room. You cannot make this shit up. I swear for God, I couldn't make this stuff up. I'm good, but I ain't that damn good. This is insane. My man Dwayne in the building comes through with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He writes, ladies should know by what you are is your credit rating. If your credit rating is below average, means you qualify for a Honda Accord, brother. Yeah, that sounds about right. If your credit rating only gets you a Honda, you can be mad at yourself that you didn't work to get a better credit rating. You can't be mad at the dealer. That sounds about right. Chris Hutchinson in the building with the $5 super chat.
And guys, on that note, we're going to end this stream because they don't make them like Florida Evans.
Struggle like Flo and James Evans.
Damn.
So the quality of the night, guys, is simply this. Like, if Jesus was living in these modern times, he would tell you modern men to go and sin no more. Salute.
Yes,
and thank you to the architect and Gregory Scotland and the Quiet Storm. Okay, you say you sent me one, Brandon Scott. I don't, hold tight. Oh, there we go, Brandon Clark. Thank you, brother. Brandon Clark said, this is an example that I really do support black male content. I will get a consultation in the future because I go back and forth overseas. No doubt. And Brandon Clark, you are dynamite. I do this for the love of the brotherhood and good black men because, guys, you deserve better.
You got the number right.
Especially if you've done the work. We're not talking about men that haven't done the work.
You're dying. Oh, my.
So, guys, we're going to sign off in a minute. But this woman lacks self-awareness, guys. And, guys, we know that it's nothing but pigeon-ish.
Flies eat poop. Get over it, okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, Kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, Kosher.
Ballin'.
Take it back.
Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
And I go beast like 23, 10 toes down, glued to the concrete. And I do me, keep to myself to find my peace. Been ballin' a little bit, woke up feeling rich. Still remember days I had to grind to get a cent. Still remember days when I spent a penny pinch. Now this bank account is lit and it's up and it's stuck, just like Cardi said. Same faces around me and it's hardly first. Saying how you do it, but you hardly did. Fibbing on the ground, yeah, you probably is. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time. Game time. Locked in when it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Pull up from the logo like it's game time. Same zone, so won't catch me on the same time. Time is money, so I cannot give away time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
But they don't really know still. See the glow up and I can't believe the glow still. Me plus me, that's a whole lot of money. Wake up in the morning, I can smell the bag coming. 3 whole years and these records keep running. Don't talk to me if you can't match the numbers. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
All these simps running around here running amok, all these son husbands. It ain't just these single mothers' faults. Happy wife? No. Happy life.
Y'all heard that before. That's the most simplest thing you can hear said.
Yeah. Welcome to Simp University. That's right. We got an all-star lineup. Yeah. We got Dr. Umar Simp Jackson on the drums. Or Johnson. Yeah. We got Dr. Boogity Boyce Watkins on the tambourines. We got Derek, the Janky Jack Jackson singing back up. And this is the Simp Academy, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. So he gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. He don't care, he don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. That's it. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Work the Pimp C, I walk with a limp. This is for the donation niggas who got food. Been a decade running and still no school and no class. You keep asking for more cash. Academy growing, pucker up and kiss ass. These doctor, imposter, homie, you check the roster. Black women panda, sounds like you a scammer. Yeah. We lace them up like them Chuck tennis. We don't love these hoes, they screaming fuck Dennis. We holding court, ain't no love in it. Rather be the judge in it. Justice from you fuck niggas. Check game. Your mama gave you niggas all a simp chip. Now you simping A1 game, all on this simp shit. High degree having nigga talking this trick shit. What you gonna be teaching at that school, nigga? Pimp shit? This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. My nigga, you a simp, yeah. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. He gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She don't care. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. You niggas is soft as Wonder Bread, baby. You worse than King Kong trying to save mayonnaise minute. Sippin' is like Kool-Aid, and you niggas add extra sugar. Cause you sippin' niggas never had that booger. How can a rotten bitch raise a forgotten trick that turned into a switch hitter? You more concerned with alphabets and crayon colors. I'm not that nigga, and I'm definitely not that brother. So when the kingdom falls, and the she-heathen no longer pick up your call, and will we leave you simps swinging from these salty balls? Best believe I got my attorney named Dennis Sperling on speed dial, and in the meanwhile, while simping ain't in my pimping, do not shake shit for me, baby. But you can shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it for him, shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want that money. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. He gon' pay it, baby. Now shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want the brain. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. Yeah.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
To exclusively marry black men. We are in the middle of a crisis. Black men are in crisis. And anybody who denies that black men are in crisis is ignoring the data, the science, the research, the statistics. It is not a figment of your imagination that there are not enough eligible black men to marry.
It's been an honor serving with you all. Autobots, roll out. We rolling.
Nanobots, transform.
She lie on them brothers, separate uncles and nephews and cousins and try to pin us against mothers. How you a woman but ain't got a man for protection, but you undercover? How do you think that we suffer? Thought we were sisters and brothers. Now you get birthed in the gutter. When they rap, they the same ones that cut you. Be the same ones who yelling they love you. Be the same ones who calling me nigga. After that, wanna say I'm his brother. Yeah, she lie on them brothers. 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 So all going on in your man, you don't get it. And using your women as splitters, then hitters. Put you in place and our family ruin. Target your boys, you don't see what they doing. We gotta beat them, you wanna join them, we just leave them. Your feminist feminism, more like treason. Politics, you don't even follow leaders. First is master, probably cause of your Jesus.
God is white. Isn't it obvious? Well, that is obvious, but we don't know if it's obvious that God is white. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus did not have blonde hair and blue eyes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the images of Jesus that are on prison walls and churches throughout the world are not historically correct, because history teaches us that Jesus was born in a region where the people had color. There's proof in the very Bible that you ask us to read in Revelations 1st chapter, verse 14 and 15, that Jesus had hair like wool and feet the color of brass. Just what are you saying? I'm not saying anything. I'm proving to you that Jesus was not, and I might quote one of our Indian brothers, he was not a pale face.
This would have been a dick, you didn't believe it. You reap the benefits from your achievements. Penitentiary, all we get is deleted. But God on our side, baby, we gon' beat it. She lie on them brothers. She lie on them brothers.
I've been on you. I'm the biggest, baddest.
Separate uncles and nephews and cousins and try to pin us against mothers. How you a woman but ain't got a man for protection, but you undercover? How do you think that we suffer? Thought we were sisters and brothers. Now you get birthed in the gutter. When they rap, they the same ones that cut you. Be the same ones who yelling they love you. Be the same ones who calling me nigga. After that, wanna say I'm his brother. She lie on them brothers. 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 She lie on them brothers.
Breaking all these black men with what? And they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me with fucking grabbed a rock and it hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What do y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face.
Roll out. Transform it. 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 Roll out.
It's him no more. Ma'am, book a session.
Why do you think a woman who is an average looking, below average physicality, below average weight, can sit around talking about they're going to hold out? Or wait, what are you waiting for? The answer is what many are waiting for is a sucker. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and say, you know what? Even though you got 200,000 miles on you and had a couple of wrecks, I'm going to go ahead and pay brand new prices for it.
When my friends go, it was simple. When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, on top. die, I'ma fight. I go down, then I strike. I go hard day and night, yeah. I go hard day and night. 1 to 1, no surprise. See the hate in their eyes. My brothers blood money bleed. I got the game in the squeeze. What would you do for some green? What would you do for some blues? Go pick and choose the fam of the cheese. Some people not built like that. Some people get killed like that. Pressure like water, lights, mortgage, I've been at bills like that. Now I got kids like that. No wonder why I feel like that. Some people go to war for nothing. Me, I go to war for something.
Before there was the manosphere, I was. Before there was the internet, I was.
When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike. I go hard day and night. Money on the line, keep calling. Money on the books, need all that. My kids, they'll be ballin'. Got a real bankroll, not for Instagram. My mama on the line, keep calling. Praying for me, know I need all that. Told me it's not about ballin'. Real blessed, but I'm still sinning, man. What would you do for a win? What would you do for your friends? What if this life is a foe? What if it all pretend? What if you wrote to the end? What if you started again?
Fire! The Kosher Clinician.